Hello, all my super cool brothers and sisters out there in music land. Let's see, today is Saturday, June 25th. It's 5:16 p.m. This is yet another installment in my ongoing series on Wickedoil reviews. Now, I'll be playing through my very super cool Gibson ES335 in cherry red 2021. Got the T-type pickups in it. Only had it a few weeks. Way cool. But today is not about that. Just so you know, before we even get to anything else, playing through my very super cool Evil Twin 1991 dual showman, which is called the Evil Twin because it's Evil Twin reverb. It's got a built-in overdrive channel and all that other stuff. And if we plug into these two jacks right here, can't even see them. Okay, the two jacks that I'm plugged into right now, or one of the two that I'm plugged into right now, I can switch between the two channels. But if I plug it into one of these two over here, then it jumpers the channels for me. And that's pretty righteous tone, man. So the reason why these are called twins is, one, they have two speakers, but more importantly, it's basically two amplifiers in one. So anyway, but again, that's not what this video is about. This video, let's see if I can pull it over here far enough without having to pick up the damn phone. Okay, this is my brand new, just got it the other day, Brownbox. And this bad boy, if you haven't heard of these, this bad boy right here, well, here, let's go ahead and put it in bypass mode. Okay, now it's showing 123 volts. It was 124 volts about 10 minutes ago when I started playing. But anyway, so it's 123 volts. So I'm going to set it, well, I've got 120, 122, 124, and 126. So since it was reading 124 a few minutes ago, it'll probably bounce back up to 124. So I set the little knob there, correspond, but you know, I can set it to 123. It's okay, or 122, because this doesn't change volts in voltage drop, it does it in percentage. So we've got the first setting is 3%, 4% reduction, 6% reduction, and 10% reduction. So, and here, let me show you. Watch the display. I'm going to turn it all the way. See what happened there? One more, and then one more. So that last 10% drops it down to 109 volts. So let's do it in bypass so you can see what it sounds like. Now I'm going straight into the amplifier like normal, and if I ever put a pedal in there, I'll let you know. So I'm on the bridge pickup, bada boom, and these don't split, so, and I don't want them to. And I'm on the clean channel on the amp. That's about halfway on the volume. I'm going to go ahead and turn it away. No, actually, it was a little more than that. I guess that was about 8. volume's at 1.5. This thing gets fucking loud. And I'm running it on 50% power right now, which means it's running on 2 of the 4 output tubes. At least that's the theory. Anyway, it's a 100-watt head. Now, I modded this thing so that I could run 6 V6s in it instead of 6 L6s. And fucking love this amp. Anyway, I don't really need to turn it up, because it's pretty loud. So I'm sitting here watching the power, because this is real-time power, out of monitoring what's coming out of the wall. And just so you know, I'm running through a UPS with APC UPS sine wave power coming out of that thing. Of course, I've never hooked my oscilloscope to it and verified that it's pure sine wave, but it was expensive, and it must be pure sine wave. Anyway, so I've been, while I was sitting there playing that little ditty, the power dropped down to 120, and I was like, okay, maybe I should drop this down. And then it went back to 123, and now it's back to 124. So let's just give you an idea how much fluctuation there is in the power lines. Okay. All right, so it's on bypass. So I want to, well, here, let's just go ahead and play. Okay, I'm setting it on 3%. Here. Bypass. 3%. Uh, 4%. Go to 6%, which that drops it down to 109 volts right there. Between 111 and 112. So, like I said, it's dropping the percentage, not amount. Now I'm going to drop it to a 10%. Okay, now we're on 109 volts. It's bouncing between 109 and 110. So, personal observation, you're probably not noticing a giant difference. Probably you might not be noticing any difference coming over the internet. And I say that because before I bought this thing, I read about this thing that, we're putting too much voltage into the amps. They're not designed to run on 120, 125. I mean, my voltage in the house sometimes goes up to 129 volts. Okay, and my amps and stuff sound different on different days. So anyway, when I was listening to these on the internet, now somebody would be describing the effects to me, but I'm listening to it and I'm going, you know, I've got a fairly nice sound system on my computer here, and I'm going, you know, I can tell there's a little difference, but I'm not really hearing enough of a difference to pay $350 plus tax. So this thing was like just shy of $380 delivered, and that was with free shipping. So you got to take that into account. But here's the deal. See, now it's dropped down to 107. But anyway, my point is this. It's not as much about hearing a difference in tone as it is the feel. If you've ever played let me put it to you this way. Years ago when I was a young buck, my first band and stuff like that, the guy that was the leader of the band, he had this Ibanez. I don't remember what model it was, but it looked kind of like some kind of Frankenstein thing, kind of like an X, and humbuckers. And I mean, dude, he would turn that thing on, he'd adjust the amp, and I mean, you just touch the strings and they'd just ring, man. And my guitar wouldn't do that. And it wasn't I didn't have a piece of crap guitar, but I didn't have it set up the way he had his, and his was definitely a higher dollar guitar than mine, and there was just something so alive about that guitar. And a lot of times now, the guitars and the amps that I have, and there's all kinds of videos you can watch on mine if you want, about all my different instruments and amps and stuff like that, where I try to give people information they can use, reviews of stuff and stuff like that. And I've learned how to do my own setups, and I do setups for other people from time to time, and everybody likes what's going on, and I get these things adjusted, and you know, I've learned how to do it. And most of my guitars, when I plug into any one of these amps, it's similar to his guitar, what I remember from back then. Now my SG is really like that. My Les Paul is like that. To a large extent, this one is like that, but this one has more of a, what they kind of, people refer to as a woodsy kind of sound. It's kind of a, I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, here's my point. When I dial this thing down, I have my AC15 C1 over there that I usually use for my reviews, if it's something to do with, you know, guitars or amps or whatever. And that one over there likes the 3 to 4% drop, voltage drop. But that amp is only just over a year old. In fact, it's barely a year old. Okay, and it was a current amp when I bought it. It wasn't used or anything like that. I got that from Sweetwater. This one is a 1991, and I haven't turned it around and looked at the label, but I'll bet that one is designed for lower voltage than that one is. Okay, now that one sounds good if I do 10% reduction, but it seems like it really likes that 3 to 4% drop. This one's digging that 10%. I mean, it sounds good on all of them, but that 10%, it's like, oh, we just hit home base right there. So anyway, I'm sorry to be talking so much, but I'm trying to get you to understand, you know, it's a hard decision to spend that much money for one of these things, okay? And if you're not careful, you'll get it and be disappointed, okay? Now, you'll probably learn to love it, but at first, it's kind of like when I got the brand new Celestion Gold 10-inch for my Fender Princeton Reverb upstairs. I was like, what the fuck is this bullshit? I mean, I was like, they sent me a dud or something? I mean, what's up with this? And then I did some checking on it and found out, oh, you got to break it in first. And they were right. after a couple hours of playing, it started breaking in. And I was like, oh, there we go. And then started, 5, 6, 8, 10 hours, 20 hours of playing, and it's broke in. And dude, now that is a fine sound speaker, but it wasn't at first. So when you get a new something, you got to give it a little chance here. I'm just letting you know. So, but this is it feels different when you play, which makes you play different. Okay, you play, you don't have to touch the strings as you don't have to pluck as hard to get the same amount out of it. Even though you're dropping the voltage, it kind of comes into its sweet spot. Okay, so again, you gotta. That's a chunk of change, man. You can buy a damn guitar for, a decent guitar these days for what this thing costs. I mean, not a great guitar, but you can buy definitely a decent one. So the action is still a little high on this thing because I haven't done anything really on the back end. It's almost, this damn thing's almost all the way down. I mean, it's real close to being all the way down. So, which is the one thing that worries me about this guitar, that if I have a damn problem, will I be able to adjust it in the future without doing some serious neck work? It's almost there. I have a feeling I could tweak that neck just a hair and roll it back. But anyway, I mean, if I have to, I'll file those damn saddles down just a hair. Go straight to bypass. So you heard that. In the room here, the way it sounds to me going straight from 10% to bypass is that, now it still sounds good, it sounds rocking, it sounds, that, don't make the mistake of thinking, oh, well, it still sounds good, or maybe it sounds like shit to you in both ways, either one. But what I'm hearing is that when I had the voltage reduced, it has kind of a, I don't want to say creamy sound because that's not the right word. It has a, if I can use a food metaphor, it's kind of like hot chocolate. It has this kind of gooey kind of feel to it. I mean, it's still defined and everything, but it's a little more, it's like the tone drops a little bit in a good way. Because right now it's kind of like, whereas before it was like da 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 da, and I turned it off, it's bam 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 bam. It probably doesn't even make it. It's probably not even a good way of explaining it. Go ahead and laugh. You're free to laugh at me. But, and I'm not trying to sell you on buying one of these, okay? Dude, that's a lot of fucking money for that little box. I think it's obscene. It's absurd, okay? But, I mean, shit costs money. If you want something, shit costs money. So, that's just the way it is. So, with that said, do I think that it's worth $380? You know, just for Joe Blow at home playing like me, because I'm not in a band. I haven't been in a band in years. Probably not, to be honest with you. I mean, if you don't have, if you're not tight on your finances, I mean, if you can buy it, I'd say yeah, get it, because it does make a difference. It does change the feel of the guitar, but don't make the mistake of thinking that if you have a, I don't want to say crappy rig, but if you don't have a rig that's dialed in at least fairly decent, this isn't going to fix it, okay? Now, it may be that little icing on top of the cake that takes it just enough over the edge, and it's okay because certain criteria falls into place because of this, sure. And I mean, that's kind of a long shot to even say all that, okay? But all things being equal, as they say, if you've got a decent rig, if you've got a decent amplifier, and this is for tube amps, okay? I mean, I'm not saying you couldn't use this on a solid state. In fact, I have a solid state I'm thinking I'm going to try it on just to see what would happen, because even if it messed something up, which it's not going to, what do I care? I don't play that frickin' thing anymore. I play real amplifiers now. Oh yeah, oh my god, I bet you the comments are going to go crazy over that one. How dare you imply that solid state amps are shit? Okay, let me just say it out straight. Solid state amps are shit, okay? There, whether it's true or not, I said it. Anyway, so with that said, if, you know, another thing that I would point out, if you don't have a trained ear, and a good sign of, I know this is going to be another shitstorm of comments, I bet. I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings saying this. If you're somebody that can't get a decent sound out of your amplifier without a bunch of pedals, this probably ain't for you, okay? Because you're not going to be satisfied with it. I have met very few people that can add pedals to their rig without getting stupid with them. Now, if you're not that guy or gal, fair enough, it's all good. I'm not knocking pedals. I'm saying that everything being on 10 is not conducive to the idea that you know what you're doing, okay? Let me just say it that way. Still insulting, I'm sorry. But if you have a trained ear, and a good sign of a trained ear is somebody that can walk up to an amplifier and have it turned all the way off or all the way to 10 and adjust it and make it sound good, to where the other people that are listening are going, hey, how'd you do that? That's pretty badass, bro. Okay? If you're one of those people, then this is probably going to make you happy. Okay? Because you will be able to hear the difference. If you can't do what the aforementioned, okay, this probably isn't going to make you happy. Now, of course, when we spend money, and the more we spend, in our mind, it must be good because we spent money, okay? And don't even waste your time saying that you don't think that way, because I've met very few people that can, shall I say, don't fall prey to that one. Okay, including myself. I've had my moments, but you know, I buy something like this, dude. I want it to improve. I want to hear a better tone. I want to feel a difference. Okay, so I have to be very careful when I do stuff not to fall into the confirmation bias of I spent money, therefore it must be wonderful. But a lot of people fall into that. So with that said, again, for probably the third or fourth time, would I recommend that people buy this? If you got the money to buy it, I would say yes. Okay, if it's not going to hamper your family finances, yeah, get it. I mean, hell, you can order it off Sweetwater and probably Guitar Center or Sam Ash or any of those, and you know, get extended financing. I think they got 36 months right now on this thing at Sweetwater, so you could be paying what is it, $10 a month or whatever, $10, $11 a month. I mean, how do you go wrong with that? I mean, if you can't pay $11 a month, maybe you shouldn't be trying to buy things. So, but anyway, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's cool enough that I'm going to buy a second one, because I got my guitar set up upstairs and I got this one, and right now I'm carrying it back and forth, trying different stuff, seeing what the different amplifiers like, you know, which voltages they like and stuff like that. So anyway, that's my spiel. I like it, but it doesn't give me as much of a change. I'm not getting the return on investment that I think I should be, but I am getting a return. So it may be that I'm expecting too much, okay? But I got it. It ain't like I'm gonna send it back or anything like that. So anyway, that's my spiel. I can't do a video without doing a half an hour, I swear to God. Okay, anyway, if you've made it this long, thank you. I very much appreciate you visiting. I would say please visit us at wickedoil.com. I'm a local AMSOIL dealer here in Madison, Tennessee, and would very much appreciate if you stop by and on the left side of the screen, I know that looks like my right, well, it does on my side anyway. On the left side of the screen, this is my left, there is a menu, and you can pick auto and light truck and look up your car pickup. You can even look up tractor trailers, you know, Class 8 trucks. Now I will say this, and I'm going to be posting a video about this. I got my boss to switch the engine oil over on my concrete mixer. Well, it's his concrete mixer, but it's my assigned equipment. And the dealer was having him change the oil every 500 hours because they were saying the oil was deteriorating, and it wasn't able to make it to 750 hours according to them because the oil was breaking down. And I said, bullshit. I told my boss, I said, just switch the damn thing over to AMSOIL. It's a little more expensive, yeah, but you're buying a premium product, and let's see what happens. And he did that. I changed the oil, still running the factory style oil filter, stuff like that. Ran it up to 835 hours, did a oil analysis, and they sent back the report, stellar report, oil's great, keep running it, no indication that you need to change the oil. Did it again at 1,551 hours, I believe it was, and it shows a little bit of contamination in there, which is normal because it is an engine, and it's a heavy duty engine. Okay, it's a Detroit Series 60. I don't remember what liter it is, 13 liter or something like that. Anyway, and they said no indication that you need to change the oil, so keep going. So we're going to do another sample at 2,000 hours. We got about another 300 hours before we hit that. and that will be 4 of his normal oil changes, okay, intervals. So as you might imagine, he's planning to switch all the trucks over to AMSOIL, and you should do the same thing because AMSOIL is that good. Guaranteed, baby. So anyway, we're over 30 minutes now. Have a wonderful day. As always, thank you very much for stopping by, and next video is going to be on this Noble's ODR Mini. I like this little dog. So anyway, but that's another video. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye.